Hello and welcome into Devils in Detail headquarters here at the beautiful Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Hunter Robinson. On this week's show, we're talking softball and baseball, so let's get started. The ASU softball team returned home this past weekend after getting swept by the Washington Huskies the weekend prior. Against Oregon State, the Sun Devils were able to find their hitting stroke as they won the first two games thanks to the run rule. In Game 3, however, it was Oregon State who came out on top 5-4 to prevent the series sweep. The Sun Devils now have to get ready as they travel to Eugene to take on the Oregon Ducks. I'm now joined by Nicole Eldridge and Jordan Kay to help me analyze this past weekend for the softball team. Thank you two for joining me. So Nicole, I'll go ahead and start with you. What's been working for this team as of late?
Well, lately they've been playing as one, and you could see that because within the first two games altogether they hit a total of 9 home runs, which is incredible. And Brianna Maha, who pitched the first game against Oregon State, she even said it herself that she's comfortable throwing any pitch because she knows her team is behind her to back her up on the field and get the out.
All right, so then Jordan, talk to me about this pitching rotation for ASU. They have one of the best ERAs in the entire country.
Well, she mentioned Brianna Maha, who had a great outing, didn't give up 1 run against Oregon State. And then the next night, the freshman Giselle Juarez came in, pitched another shutout. Today, Dale Rindeck got a little roughed up, but she's the ace of the staff. She'll bounce back. And I think this is what happens when you bring in a pitching coach to become the head coach. You see the real improvements that these pitchers are making.
All right, and then Nicole, I know this team has a bunch of exciting players, but who do you think that we need to keep an eye on, progressing later into the season?
To me, I think we should keep an eye out for Marisha Stankiewicz because within the first two games, again, versus Oregon State, she had 2 home runs, and even when she's not hitting home runs, she's making contact with the ball, making a double, and her average has gone up, so I think she's really a player to look out for.
All right, and then finally, Jordan, this team has started hitting with a lot of power. They have no trouble, getting the ball over the fence. What do you think is the impact when you have such a powerful lineup?
Yeah, Nicole mentioned the 9 home runs, and it really you mentioned the pitching staff, it helps out with them. When ASU can build a big lead early on, the pitching staff can just go to work and make the pitches more aggressive pitches. And I think this real power surge is from preparation. When they're playing these tournaments and you got to prepare for 4 or 5 teams in a weekend, it can be tough. But when you have one team and you can focus on what 3 pitchers you're going to face, they can really watch film, they can practice, they can work on the pitches that they're going to be facing, and it's really paying off for ASU right now.
All right, guys. Well, we'll have to see how this team does this week as they're back on the road against Oregon. Thank you two for joining me. The baseball team has struggled ever since entering Pac-12 play. They were swept at home against Oregon State, and this past weekend, they were only able to take a single game at USC. With another tough matchup this upcoming weekend against UCLA, it's time to find out if the Sun Devils are ready to make some noise or if they're going to be one of the quieter teams in the Pac-12. I'm now joined by Alec Hendon and Joey Callow to help me break down this past weekend for ASU. Thank you two for joining me. So, Alec, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. What has been the main issue with the Sun Devils as they've started underwhelming in this Pac-12 season?
Well, I'll give them a little credit. They've run into some good teams so far. Oregon State, Tracy Smith mentioned they had, in his opinion, the best player in the country in Nick Magical, plus maybe the best complete team, if not the best complete team in the Pac-12. They have not been fielding the ball so well. That's been their struggle all season. Bats have gone quiet. It's just been a little bit of a combination of a tough schedule. They got to clean up in the field. Andrew Snow, he does a lot of great things for them offensively, but he does kick the ball around a lot in the infield. So Tracy Smith has to deal with, do I go bat over glove? And then maybe the glove doesn't work that day or the bat doesn't show up. So it's a little bit of a combination of everything, I think, so far.
All right. Now, Joey, the baseball team, they currently sit at 10-12. Do you think that this is still like a playoff caliber team?
I would say what they've shown on the field right now, no. But the good news is, even though you're a couple games under 500, when you're in a tough conference like Pac-12, you're going to get an opportunity every single week. You're going to be going up against a team that's pretty good in the eyes of the selection committee. So there's plenty of opportunities. You have UCLA coming up. There's still series against Arizona, Washington, all still to go on the schedule. So there's going to be some opportunities for the team to get some big wins and possibly get themselves in the postseason race. But right now, I guess typically the magic number is 30. You want to get to 30 wins to ensure. And right now, I don't know if they can scratch up another 20 wins. But we'll see as the Pac-12 season goes on.
All right, so then, Alec, Chaz Montoya came out this past Saturday, and he pitched great for the Sun Devils. The Sun, they had a difficult time, being able to find a solid Game 3 starter. Do you think that Montoya can be, a solid option for them moving forward?
Right now, I'd say he's definitely their best option. He went 5 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs on the road in his first Pac-12 road start. That was pretty impressive. It was his first start in college baseball. I'll tell you one thing about Montoya. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He doesn't throw the hardest, but he competes his rear end off. He works so hard on the mound. He's a bulldog. He's someone that Tracy Smith has highlighted. He wants to grow in the program. So he's definitely someone that he knows when he's on the mound, he'll compete, because that's one thing Tracy Smith likes to highlight. He wants someone who competes in the batter's box, competes on the mound, and I think that's what Chas Montoya does for the Sun Devils right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then finally, Joey, what are you expecting to see from the Sun Devils this upcoming weekend as they travel? As they host UCLA?
Well, I would look for them to come out with a lot of fire. Really have not gotten off on the right foot thus far, getting swept by Oregon State, only getting one win at USC last weekend. And UCLA, they are UCLA. They still got a lot of good players, but this isn't the UCLA team of normal. So it's a very winnable series, but they are hot. UCLA's coming off a series. They swept Cal. They scored 20 runs. They won 20-0 in their last game. So starting pitching's really got to get going, and this is a series for them to get going for ASU.
All right, guys. Well, we'll have to see if the Sun Devils can get back on track this upcoming weekend against UCLA. Thank you two for joining me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We aren't quite done yet. While we've talked about softball and baseball on today's show, there's always one guy who loves to have the last word. Take it away, Matt.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Stoboff, and this is The Last Word. Arizona State baseball has had its struggles recently, losing 5 of their last 6 games. Last week, against a highly talented Oregon State team, the Sun Devils were swept in the series and literally had no offense as they were outscored in the series 16-1. ASU's top 2 hitters, Lyle Lynn and Zach Serbo, struggled against the Beavers. Lynn, who leads ASU in hitting with a .360 batting average, only 2 hits in 10 at-bats, while Serbo went hitless in the 3 games. When the Sun Devils went out to California to play USC, Arizona State lost 2 of the 3 games in the series. Pitching was the main problem in this one. Starting pitcher Eli Langos gave up 4 runs in 5 innings on Friday, while ace starter Spencer Van Scoik and reliever Regan Todd combined for 5 earned runs in 6 innings. These last 2 dreadful weeks has brought ASU to a disappointing record of 10-12 and has dropped them to the second-to-last spot in the Pac-12 standings. After one game against UNLV, ASU will host a 3-game series against UCLA, and then they'll head to Tucson to play 1 game against Arizona, and then fly to Berkeley to take on Cal in a 3-game series. These next 8 games are crucial, and they fail to pull off a winning record during this stretch, you might as well kiss the season goodbye. For The Last Word, I'm Matt Stoboff.
That's our show. Thank you for joining us. You can keep up with everyone that appeared on the show today by reading their articles on devilsindetail.com. You can keep up to date with everything Arizona State athletics by following Devils in Detail on Twitter at devils_detail. Make sure to subscribe to the Devils in Detail YouTube page to be notified first about all of our videos, including roundtable discussions about your favorite Arizona State sports. Again, thank you for joining us, and from everyone here in Phoenix, I'm Hunter Robinson saying we hope to see you again soon.